to the flooding. You've seen, of course, the live reports from the Eastern Cape. Let's take you to KwaZulu-Natal, where Premier Thami Ntuli is visiting two of the schools most affected in KwaMashu this morning. The facilities are among 138 institutions or schools that were badly affected by the terrible weather in that province. Newzroom Afrika's Pila Mtembu joins us live with more. Pila, good afternoon to you. We've seen from your previous coverage how bad some of the school damage has been. What's the Premier doing?
Good afternoon to you, Stephen. So right now we are at Thandukwazi Primary School here in KwaMashu, and we just want to firstly give you a sense of this particular classroom here. It's one of the classrooms that the Premier had found himself, having to walk into as he is here to assess the damage, which we had been told was as a result of the recent inclement weather. But what you see right now seems to go way back. This particular part of the classroom, we understand that this damage goes as far back as 2022, and it still remains in a dire state. So what we understand is that this particular floor is currently not being used. And also, as you've made reference as well to some of the schools that we have been visiting, as you know, that we had been initially told that it is actually around 138, but we're going to get the latest with regards to those figures as we bring the Premier into the conversation. Premier, quite a very shocking sight to see for you, and you also said you are not aware that the situation is this dire when you got here.
Well, it's true, because the intention of visiting schools today is because of the report I received from COGTA, wherein I saw that 208 schools in the KwaZulu-Natal were affected by a recent strong wind. And I also read that 14 of them, they are in a situation wherein teaching and learning is severely affected. Then I felt that I need to have the first-hand information by visiting some of the schools before we go back and sit down with the department to say where do we go? How do we actually fix the damage? It's unfortunate that then for this school, we're in a classroom which was damaged in 2022. And I understand that the department has been going through the period of the financial stresses because of the previous year's budget cut of more than 60 billion, and the SARA negotiations concluded after the budget was concluded with a fraction which was not accommodated. That has in fact made not only this Department of Education but the government in its entirety to have some financial limitations. But there are two things to check here: whether this is because this situation in this classroom is what it is, because it is part of the list of the schools that are waiting. Some have been prioritized, have been dealt with, or rather someone received the report and did not act. If it's so, there will be a consequence management.
But it also raises, Premier, quite a number of questions when it comes to the capability of the department fixing damaged infrastructure. Already there are recent damages which we have seen, but we still have that some of them which actually still go as far back as 2022. How confident are you that these issues that we have seen happen now are going to be addressed when we are so far behind already?
We are going to work together. We are going to support the Department of Education, as I've already, in fact, started to intervene on the norms and standard challenge, wherein some of the schools were not receiving norms and standards since last year, some this year, because the principal of the very same school we are in told me that they did receive money at the beginning of the year, has also received another tranche. There are schools, though, that might have not been receiving money since last year, and we have been able to sit down with the MEC for Finance to say where can we source or repurpose some of the funds so that we support education. Education, health, and social development, the frontline departments that require, in fact, apex attention. So we will be working together with them to ensure that there is a plan, because that is what is important. Already I've seen the plan that by the end of June, there will be knowing how much is required to fix the damage. I want to believe then from there, because I've already started to make a call to the social partners, to the private sector, we'll be even appealing to a government nationally to say, how can you assist us here in this situation? So that as KwaZulu-Natal, we normalize education in terms of the infrastructure. Already when it comes to the norms and standards, I want to believe that in 2 weeks, we'll be done with those that are owed, and then things will be normal. And when it comes to nutrition, we are doing everything to ensure that things are normal. Things are normal already there. Even the service providers that were owed a lot of money have been paid, except for those that could not submit according to the requirements for various reasons where the Department of Education is investigating their submissions. So we are working together as government to ensure that we have education, we have health, we have DSD and other departments providing what is expected by the people.
And before I let you go, Premier, I'm wondering are you aware of some schools halting the process of writing the examinations? I'm going to make reference to one of the primary schools that I visited yesterday. It is called KwaMadlala Primary School. When we got there, following the damage which was caused by the recent inclement weather, we were told that they are currently not writing any examinations. Teaching and learning has been brought to a halt. And what are we planning to do with regards to that information, Premier?
Well, for the 14 schools that cannot continue teaching and learning because of the severe damage to the infrastructure after the strong wind, we'll be providing temporary mobile classrooms so that teaching and learning continues. But we'll investigate whatever information that we receive. As government, unfortunately, we are not all over where people are in terms of the different institutions. We receive information, then we act when we receive information. We'll also do the same. But where we have those 14 schools severely affected by these strong wind, we'll be making it a point that the provision of mobile classrooms is made.
Okay, thank you so much, Premier, for your time. That was the KZN Premier Thami Ntuli outlining, well, basically some of the interventions that they are planning on bringing about. You've seen the number of schools that we visited and also the impact of the damage, but also stressing there on the importance of, accountability and consequence management within the officials or within government at large. You know, as we are in this classroom that was damaged in 2022, but it has not been fixed since then. So there's clearly, Stephen, someone who could possibly have dropped the ball there because it has been quite a long time, but the situation still remains.
Thank you very much indeed.